It's been a while since we've actually had this segment. This is your first time watching, welcome fam, what it do. What happens on here is that we review the top 5 albums and EPs that came out of our country each month. There's a lot of great music that comes from our country, but there's just some that should just not miss your ears. The artists in our top 10 which drop albums in May include Weed Eater, Diamond Thug, the Tronica label with their compilation, Deity's Muse, Polar Inc., Seba Kaapstad, Kid Fonque, Muzi, and Subban and Pierre Johnson. In our opinion, May was actually one of the best months when it comes to South African music. Bruh, it was so good. In fact, we've actually stopped with a rating system. The only album that we're gonna rate is the one at the end. If you haven't done so yet, please clap that subscribe button. We'd love to also hear your music. If you're releasing soon, send us an email. Let's hear what you got, bro. Let's hear what you got. If there was an album in May that we missed, let us know. You know what? Let's get into it. Our first order in business, the new EP by Diamond Thug called Gaia, which is like a psych rock dream pop infusion. Something I've come to appreciate about this band is their songwriting. Many of the times it comes across as a bit abstract with key phrases that are just sticky, and in the first track that's exactly what we get. Aquatic Waters is certainly one of the gems of this EP, and it leans more towards the electronic spectrum. I love how Chantal's dreamy vocals almost like float over the deep bass during the intro, and when the track reaches the climax, it's dramatically trippy actually. This is a 5-track EP, but honestly, there are only 3 tracks that I find myself keep returning to. The one mentioned before, a track called Midnight Moan, which is one hell of a headbanger by virtue of the mean guitar riff found in the chorus, and of course my personal favorite, Face the Sky. What caught my attention on here was the witty use of ethnic instrumentation, those like sticks during the bridges, and that optimism which permeates all around the lyrics. If you're into bands like Wild Nothing and Still Corners, bruh, this is you. This next project is called I Moved to a Different Beat by the OG himself, Kid Fonque. What up? IMDb is a beautiful mixture between hip-hop, house, and electronica. The themes that are taken on here are basically peace, love, and positivity. But that's actually my problem with the album. The guest vocalists that are on here deliver this message in such a bland manner. Although I did find the vocal harmonies and the poetry on Love the Life We Live fucking mesmerizing. That shit slaps. That shit slaps harder than the African mother. Especially the rapid movement of the drums that are guided by the percussion and by the hi-hats. Talking about drums, a factor I found consistently impressive in this album was Kid Fonque's somewhat unorthodox drum programming. I think maybe that's why it's called I Moved to a Different Beat. Some of the gems in this EP include the opening track called Undefined and the closing track called I Moved to a Different Beat. Bruh, when I saw that Cotton Spokes was featured in the last track, I was like, I need to have a fire extinguisher in this room before I press play. These two create such a chill house lounge sort of vibe, and honestly it ties the album up so nicely and brings it to an amazing close. I was a bit surprised that I liked this EP. It's not my usual cup of tea, but damn yo, those ambient textures and explosive climaxes really have a lasting impression. What I'm talking about is the progressive rock EP titled Lungs Full by Deity's Muse. Literally, I shit you not when I say this. The opening track called Still in Hiding sounds like entrance music for WWE wrestlers. Bro, I fuck with that so much, it brings back memories for days, yo. Apart from the nostalgia, throughout the verses, Still in Hiding sounds fucking badass, dude, I swear to you. And when the chorus comes in, the vibe changes to something a little bit more uplifting through the vocals. On the subject of vocals, Wayne Bart's voice on here is incredibly soothing and it has the potential to inspire tears. The track carries themes of acceptance and transformation. Something I can't neglect to mention is the amazing drum fills found throughout, especially near the end where there are a lot of variations that are occurring. In total, there are 3 tracks in this EP, including Sleep Escape. Some of the elements on here remind me of ISO, and if you're into them, you'll fuck with this. Okay. This next project is by Muzi, and gosh, this guy has got journalists running around in circles. Like, what do we call his sound? Like, what do you call this? This EP is titled Stimela Sekolite, and it's a combination between Maskandi, Afrobeat, house, and electronic music. In his previous works, Muzi has covered themes that are more intrapersonal, such as finding love or being in a happy place. But this time, socioeconomic issues and family take to the forefront. On this EP, Muzi doesn't just display his skills as a producer, but also as a songwriter. The gem of the EP is definitely the opening track. On here, he tells a story of how his dad went to go find work in Gauteng and how that disrupted his family environment, but also left him without a dad for a while. Moving on to production. When you listen to this project, pay close attention to how your body moves, especially on the track Zwakala. The amount of swing that's on these tracks inspire an unconventional kind of a groove. The track Baba was also quite dope, especially his direct and passionate lyrics. I did have a problem with the mixing though. Some of the synths and some of the kicks were very low in velocity, which resulted in a lack of impact when it came to some of the instrumentation. If you're into Trinidad, Sango, selection, you'll definitely be into this. It's only been like 6 months and this is one of the best albums I've heard in South Africa. Imagine The Soil, imagine Flying Lotus, imagine Robert Glasper, all in one song, but in one album, but in one group. I'm talking about Tina by Seba Kaapstad. This is a 12-track album and I love the fact that one can play it from start to finish without having an inch of desire to go to the next track. Tina is the kind of album that makes you proud to be from South Africa. Not just because of the quality that's going to be leaking out of your speakers, but also because of the themes that are covered on here. Tracks like Africa paints an amazing picture of our continent and invites those from all over to bask in its beauty. I also love the fact that our unofficial national anthem, Sister Bettina, is mentioned on here when one of the vocalists say, "In the meantime." Here you'll find jazz, hip-hop, soul, R&B, classical, and electronica, bruh. And electronica. When it comes to the lyrics on here, it's all straightforward, no fancy metaphors. Basically, it seems as if all the words were plucked from the fruits of reality. On the track Disaster, one of the vocalists, I think her name is Zoe, she says, "This hurts like brand new shoes." And I was like, damn, no, when I buy shoes it does hurt. That's real talk. But then again, this is not about shoes. This is about the process of healing when it comes to emotional wounds. I'm gonna give this album an 8.8, and if you're into artists like Thundercat, Tiny and Dooley, Flying Lotus, Robert Glasper, this is for you. You better cop this shit, yo. I enjoyed it so much.